Hi. Maintenance. What is maintenance? It's car maintenance. I think a lot of people can relate to that. Having a car, maintaining the car, cleaning the car, detailing the car, adding the upgrades, tweaking the engine, tweaking the suspension, upgrading the engine, whatever it may be. And I'm sharing this. We had a conversation the other day and we were talking about the physical body. And then many years ago I had an out-of-body experience. I found out very quickly that the body that I'm inside here is similar to like a car rental. And I chose this body that prior to me showing up here. And with me being here, it's my responsibility to take care of it. And I'm sharing this. There's of a big importance that being in my mid-40s right now, that I've been noticing a certain age where things are starting to fall apart for certain people, and it's very unfortunate and very, very sad seeing this. That we're meant to be, throughout this lifetime, we're meant to be taking care of our physical body with this. And I decided to talk about it because it's something that needs to be shared. That information needs to get out there. So what am I talking about? I mean, all of us, I think we all enjoy having a vehicle at one point, whether it's a vehicle, whether it's a boat, or it's the whatever it may be. For those that enjoy their BMW or a Porsche fan, something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of care that goes into the vehicle. There's a lot of maintenance. It's ensuring that the air pressure's correct in the tires, and that there's oil in the engine and things like that. And what I wanted to share is that, I'm using me as the example, that at one point my body started to give out. And I'd gone to the gym, I worked various jobs, and I had a dream vocational career at one point as a commercial pilot. And I enjoyed it. And as I've noticed over the years, as I got away from that and I decided, okay, I've been there, I've done it. And I'm seeing things from a different perspective now, that the importance of taking care of the physical body is super important. There's a big shift happening for though many that are in the 3D realm, and for many that are in the 5 or the 6th dimension or higher. There's a timeline shift with this. And I'm sharing this. What I've learned from the healing arts the last number of years is the importance of the foundation. And that ties in with the maintenance. It ties in with the physical maintenance, the mental maintenance, the emotional maintenance, the mental and emotional makeup for the spiritual, makeup for the physical pillar, pardon me, and then there's the spiritual pillar. Now for those that when we leave here, when we leave this earthly realm, we go back to the other side, if nothing's addressed, all those emotional files, that gets accumulated back with the soul. And it's the soul doesn't come down here to this earthly realm. And the soul sends its to each and every one of us, like myself here, whereas I'm here as the human soul ambassador. And it's my responsibility that while I'm physically here, to honor and fulfill my agreement with my soul. So what is that referring to? That while I showed up here, I'm not here on a picnic. The time here, unfortunately, is very, very limited. I used to think at one point that we have a lot of time, and thank God I pursued the goals that I was able to do, and for whatever I was able to accomplish. And I'm sharing that, the importance of the maintenance with this. Because this earthly school is a place where we're meant to be uplifting, up-leveling, and graduating from this place. There may be others that can relate to this. At one point with the Merian time, for those that they have any resonance with the Atlantean time period, although a lot of the history may have been deleted, if you look around, you can find some of this stuff. Technically it's encoded inside of the genetics. And I'm sharing the importance of the maintenance. This is for those that get spiritually involved, or as they're rising or ascending with this. it's like anything, a person can go so high with it, and if there's no maintenance done on the physical body, and it's not so much the physical body, yes, the importance is the emotional maintenance, the mental maintenance. The emotions is what took down the Atlantean Empire. The emotions took down the Lemurian Empire. If you can imagine a building, whether it's a home, a house, or a large apartment building, I think would be a better example. It's great being in the penthouse. It's great experiencing what it's like being in the upper floors. The view is amazing. And often the experience is more enticing. What I've learned is with the foundation, with it not being solid, or if it's corrupted, or if it has got leaks in it, if it's got holes in the foundation, we're all aware with what I'm referring to with this. At one point, especially being in the 5D now, and if the foundation is not solid, meaning that from the soul's evolution, from the soul's growth, and when we show up here, when we come here from the universe, we're coming here in pristine or in divine, like we're coming straight from the factory. There is no flaws here, but when we show up here, we have these things called human experiences, emotional experiences, and the interferences that come from the family, from the culture, from the religion. And it's like having like a glitch in the system. It's like an interrupt into the subconscious. And when you have an interrupt like that, that becomes like the first jar in the system, or the first irritation. And all of us have this. I mean, I've gone through it. We all experience the feelings of self-confidence issues, trust issues, or grief, or sadness, loss, heartache. And I'm sharing with this that we were kind of laughing about it the other day, that yeah, there's a lot of people that really take great care of their cars and their homes, which is great. I decided to talk about it with the human body, because it's not too much that we're not as a human being, we're as a human soul. And part of the experience here is the major cleanup is what's inside of us, and the technology that's hidden is inside of us. It's not something on the outside. And it's technology that's something that can be uploaded or downloaded. It's a feeling that's felt. So you can be driving, I can be driving working towards it, having a great car and a great home, which is all great, and I would inspire anyone to pursue that. Or simply being grateful with whatever is being given or whatever the universe is providing. The importance of taking care of the physical body, because at one point, lost a couple people, and it's not a good place being in the hospital, seeing something like that. And I've learned that when something shows up, especially on the inside, that's like the body saying, hey, here's a red flag, there's something that needs to be addressed. Like simply addressing or sharing that, when something that shows up, deal with it. Or do some research, go online, start being curious about it, start having questions about it. Because at one point we only get so many red flags with us. If we're not paying attention to it, then from the soul, this is where the soul can step in, because the soul is keeping us alive. The soul can put one either in the hospital, or it can induce things like having either as a coma, stress, heart attack, stroke, things like this. And it's not a joke. I've seen several people go through this, and all that stuff, it comes up from a lot of stress. We live in a world that's very, very active. That's a hustle and bustle type world, and financial world, and there's responsibilities with this. And I'm sharing that there's ways of maintaining the physical body, and the big part of it is we're all coming here to graduate from this earthly realm. What I refer to it as attaining a peaceful soul closure. It's to have a closure from whatever happened from the past. When those bottom feelings are taken out, when those bottom feelings from the foundation, when they're all properly taken care of and excavated, when they're dealt with, and the process, whatever was stacked on top of it, doesn't matter anymore. So it's much like that example I mentioned about the tall building, where there's a skyscraper, the tall apartment building. It's great being on those higher floors. When the foundation starts to give out, and if it's rotten, the whole thing's going to come down. And in the consciousness that we're in right now, this is going to be a reality for many people. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm sharing that it's coming one way or another. Because the soul, when it decides to come here, it doesn't want to come down here simply for the sake of entertaining, having another physical lifetime. The soul's out there, and for every one of us when we're showing up here, the soul's adamant with having everything closed up here. Because technically, for each and every one of us, we're reliving a recycled past lifetime experience. And the moment we can become aware of having the awareness of whatever the leak is, whatever the lesson is, it's like back with the vehicle. What's broken, what needs to be fixed, what's the weakness part, what's the Achilles heel? And it's the same thing with the human body, with the human mind, with the way of thinking, the emotions, and all this is entangled together. I simply desired with sharing this, much like a car, when it's done, it goes back to the scrap pile, it goes back to the heap pile. And what happens for us, for the human body stays here, but when we leave here, all those files, for the average age of it's 40, 50, 70, 80, for the few that reach 100 years of age, all of that emotional data, all that emotional and mental information, parts of that goes, but what really goes back to the soul is all the emotional gunk. And the soul cannot release that inside of this, in the spiritual realm. So when we show up here in this earthly realm, then one of the major missions, one of the major accomplishments or attainments is to have all this stuff closed up. And it's to do it to the best of one's ability. It's to close up the emotional entanglements stemming from the family, from the culture, from the religion. For those that decide to do a bigger step with it, it's to clean up the ancestry, the ancestral lineage with all the emotions. And that's what I call maintenance. And when that's done properly, that gives every one of us the opportunity to up-level and graduate from this place. I'm sharing that because there's a lot of artificialness in this world. I chased it at one point as a commercial pilot. Although I loved it, I really enjoyed it, but I saw through the facade of it that, yeah, I was there, I've been there and I've done it. And there's a thing called an emotional cost to a lot of it. That's a hidden cost and people don't talk about it. And unfortunately, later on, a lot of people, they check out or they get sick, and I'm sharing that there's another way of preventing that. That's it. Some food for thought for today. Personal maintenance. Take care and enjoy your day.